Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna be cheating on my Lincoln Town Car with this Chevy Spark. So I've posted a few videos about this beauty. It was a star of a couple of my videos because I drove it for a couple days before embarking on, I think this is my third trip for work down to Galesburg, Illinois, and I mean, I can't help but to smile and to kind of be sad, because here's the trunk of my town car. All right, my work boots are staying put this time around. A case of water I usually bring with, or I used to bring with. I took a couple bottles because honestly, this is not gonna fit in there, and I don't need a whole case. So check this out. So we're gonna be going in this. Obviously, this is gonna be a whole video about my driving experience, and here's the same bag that I showed you guys last time around. Nothing changed. So that bag gets lost in here and not even close to filling this trunk. I mean, I could technically fit it on the shelf. Here, it's taken pretty much the whole trunk. Now, I am taking this bag also with me, and this bag contains an air compressor and jumper cables. And this is the bag that usually resides right there to the right. It falls every once in a while if I hit the accelerator too much, but I'm taking it with me. And the reason for that is, at first I didn't even think about it, but this morning when I came up to this beautiful car, I use that term loosely, I got a warning light that the right rear tire is low of air. So I am not saying it's Enterprise's fault. I'm not saying it's the car's fault, but it is the truth that that after all, it had one of the tires was low. So I'm taking it with me because I'm hoping I don't have a slow leak. But I did pump it up a little bit. It didn't need a whole lot, so I'm taking it with me just in case. Now, worst comes to worst, I will contact Enterprise and I will have them request them to swap out a car. But I'm looking forward to this. Now, check this out. I know they're not exactly parked side by side, exact. But oh my God, the contrast. Like, look, like from here, see, the size comparison is hilarious, because obviously, this thing barely fits in a parking spot. This thing you can almost put, well, no, you can't really put two of them. It's not a smart car, but yeah, it's definitely the wrong size comparison if you want to compare sizes. And here's our third car, and it looks like a cicada died in there, or some sort of a large insect. But yeah, so anyway, so here we go, going on a road trip for work in a Chevy Spark and leaving this beast behind. So I'm I feel sad. I feel like I'm gonna regret this. Obviously, I'm not doing this because I am forced to do it. I can take my town car there, and I've already done it several times and I enjoy it. But at the same time, I don't want to lose out on the whole experience. And there's a reason why I booked an economy car, is because I want the experience, not so much to ridicule it or to do anything. But yeah, so we're gonna be heading out. I'm gonna be starting it up. We're gonna be resetting everything. And see, 31262. All right, we got our startup screen. Alrighty, so we're gonna get the AC going. It's a little warm here. So yeah, so there you go. So it's interesting that this car does have tire pressure monitoring system. So you can kind of see 37, 35, 38, and then this one is 37. So it was showing like a 20, something like that. So, all right, so it's good that it has it. I drove it a little bit before because I got it a couple days ago, because I'm filming this at the Memorial Day, so it's a Monday, Memorial Day. Okay, so it got 308 miles till empty, so I should make it there, no problem. All right, resetting everything. Got the AC going here. All right, yeah, okay, nice and colder AC. A bit colder than it is over there. And yeah, we'll see you when we hit the open highway. We'll see how it goes. All right, everybody, so we made it out of the city and all the populous areas. As you can see, about 62 miles out. So I've been driving it for probably a little over an hour. trailering very happy in the right lane. Surprising amount of traffic today. I thought people would stay home, but I guess it is a long weekend, so. But it will allow me to film while I am carefully, you know, like I said, behind this vehicle. So, where are we at? So first and foremost, this car, it's not as bad as it could have been. I was expecting worse. I was expecting to be thrown around this highway left and right because I had a Hyundai Elantra before this. All right, I'm gonna execute the lane change as you guys all trained me to do, so you should be all proud of yourself. You taught me the proper way, and I should be ashamed of myself for not knowing that, or I don't know if I knew that or not, but I just wasn't exercising it. So anyway, yeah, so I was thrown left and right on the highway via the Hyundai Elantra, arguably a larger vehicle than this. But with this Spark, I'm not really having the same experience. So maybe it's the aerodynamics. So the Hyundai Elantra, the 2013 model, was pretty aerodynamic. But, you know, it doesn't matter. I feel okay. Now, this car, I looked it up. It's got 98 horsepower. It's got a 1.4 liter four-cylinder. 98 horsepower, some very low torque number as well. It's got a CVT, but as far as the horsepower goes, I think this is probably the weakest horsepower, you know, vehicle I ever drove. Now, it's not the smallest car I drove. I did test drive a smart car, and I did test drive, well, I mean, I drove the Fiat 500s, but those have more powerful engine and even smaller than this. So I think the power to weight ratio is probably where it's all at. So this Chevy, you know, it's okay. It's drivable. I don't feel like I'm in danger. Let's look at some of these metrics that we have here. And I looked it up also. So this is the LT. So it's the one above the base model. It's got the CVT, but it does have the automatic. Obviously, it does also still come with the manual as its base transmission. But it also has this base screen, which is all, you know, kind of black and white. So let's check it out. So 65 miles. That's what we drove. We got to empty 252 miles. Average 58 miles per hour. And this is where it's all at. We're averaging 29 to 30 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, I am going almost at the speed limit. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to slow down a little while filming. So, I'm not using cruise control. But it's interesting how in this car, the cruise control is that little light that pops on. But then when you click it, it lights up in green. But it does look like the light source is coming from another place. It's almost like when you cancel it out, like a different light bulb goes off there. It's pretty visible, but that's, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, this is instant miles per gallon. This is the average. There you go, 34.8. Okay, 34.8. So basically, it's 1.5 times better than. Or maybe even more than my town car. So that's, of course, I mean, that's a given. Got a tiny car, not a lot of weight, not a lot of space. So 34.7, huh? So not too bad. So let's talk about some of the negative aspects of this car. And then I'm going to tell you the positive aspects. And then we'll kind of wrap it up when I get there. So the negative aspects. This seat is not as comfy as a town car. That's a given. It has no lumbar support, which I really wish it had. I'm a big lumbar support fan. So there's that. The power. So while you're kind of, you know, up and running, it's okay. But it's a tiny car, tiny engine. So here, we're going to execute a lane change, and we're going to try to pass these cars. And look at this. So I'm going to floor it. This is floor. Yeah, it's almost laughable, so it can't really do much more. Now, eventually, I will get to probably 90. Not trying to break any records, but yeah, I mean, I'm not flooring it all the way anymore, but Here, now I am flooring it all out. I feel like I am Jeremy Clarkson, you know, screaming power, power, and it's not really doing anything. Yeah, so it gets there. But yeah, like in a town car, it's not a fast car either, but at least the acceleration is there. So yeah, it's the CVT is trying to squeeze it all out, but the engine just not having it. So the power is not there. The wind noise. Now I'm filming this with my phone. I don't know if you guys want to compare the wind noise when I filmed it in the town car. Yeah, but I mean the wind noise is definitely more noticeable. So that's another negative aspect. It's not as quiet. The suspension is not as soft, but I understand. I'm not comparing apples to apples here. The space. So I had to put my backpack here because the trunk, I mean, you guys saw in the beginning. Yeah, I mean, I could have put it on the back seat, but yeah, this is a 4-passenger vehicle. So not a whole lot of space, and there's no storage too. There's no glasses holder there. I had to actually hang my sunglasses off of the visor. There's barely any storage there. Now I could have put the glasses there, forgive me for my hairy knee there, but I could have put it there, but then they would flop around. The cup holder, so it's my stand there. So yeah, not a lot of storage. There's a little bit of storage there, but not a whole lot. Let's talk about the plus side. Plus side, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you can see right there, that's my Android Auto displaying where I am right now, how far I have to go, and when I'm gonna get there. I never drove a car, well, I shouldn't say that I never drove a car with that in there, but I never experienced it. I never actually used it. And now with my phone being connected, now keep in mind this is a wired connection. So as I'm filming this, I am hooked up via wire right there. Now I got my charger. I didn't know if I was going to charge off of that thing or not, but it has a Type-C and normal USB. So and then that little stick there, that's my own doing. So yeah, that's a big help. Now this rental car also came with satellite radio. Kudos for that. It has nice cold AC. I guess kind of sort of kudos for that, but that's expected at 31,000 miles. It has this. It has the oil life, which I did reset. It was getting low, so I know car rental company will take care of it. But it also does have tire pressure monitoring system, which is nice. I did not expect it to have it. I brought my compressor with me because I did have a little low tire. Actually, in this was the tire that was low, but now it's been holding, so it must have been just low from there. So that's kind of surprising that it had that. Now, I know that a more advanced option package for these cars will have a more colorful display here, probably from like a Chevy, like a higher trim Chevy that's more colorful than this, and it'll have probably a few more features. So that's just the trim, I guess. And I also looked up right there, all those blank switches. So on Chevy's website, it does have like a blind spot monitoring system button that's right there to the right of the traction control. But all the pictures online did show 2 blank switches there. So I don't know what kind of features you have to get in order to spec it out without blank switches. So I did see leather option there on the Chevy's website, and like a lot of different accessories, fog lights, I think. So then that blank will turn into a fog light there, right here. So, all right, so we're gonna do one more acceleration. We're gonna do some power. And I'm sorry, I don't know, but I am bored. You know, I got a little less than 2 more hours to go, as you can see, and I'm already bored. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, floor. All right, really floor, like really. All right. Yeah, so what was it, 80 to 90 or something like that, and I don't know how many seconds. I'm gonna try and put a timer on the screen if I can figure out how to do it. Yeah, I mean, once again, I know a town car is not a race car either, but That's fun. Like for me, that's fun. I drove a Chevy Cavalier. I think it had like 120 some horsepower. One so different, you know, much bigger car, but I don't remember what I could do in that, but probably about the same given the fact that it had, I think it only had a 3-speed transmission. This is a CVT. So, oh, speaking of which, you know, gauges are kind of fun. You know, they're kind of motorcycle inspired. But yeah, I don't think this car can do 120. Yeah, there you go. The bounciness of this thing is just amazing. This is not a town car soft. It's a bouncy house. So yeah, so look, not as bad as I thought. I will show you the backup camera. At first I didn't realize this thing had a backup camera, but this is a 2020 model, so it's required. It's one of the crappiest backup camera. It's almost like they took a cell phone camera from probably 10 years ago and they stuck it there. And I know that this car has to serve a lot of different markets and be known for many different names. And I actually looked it up. There is an engine. So this is a 1.4. Got interrupted by a phone call, one of the negative side effects of filming via cell phone. So yeah, so this is a 1.4. So there's a global engine, which is a 1 liter 3-cylinder engine tied to I think a 5-speed manual that makes like 70 some horsepower. And that's the kind of engine that most of the other world gets when this Chevy's turned into whatever it is that they turn it into, or vice versa. So I guess for American roads and all the open highways that we have, they spared us. And I'm thinking that this is the last compact or subcompact or economy, whatever you want to call it, American, and I use that term loosely, American car, because Ford doesn't make small cars anymore. Buick doesn't make small cars. Cadillac has a small kind of an BMW 3 Series vehicle. What is it? Something CT3 or something like that. See, that's bad when I don't know the Cadillac names anymore by heart. Yeah, Chrysler doesn't make barely any cars. That's it. Even other brands like Toyota, Honda, they're starting with their Corollas and their Civics, and Nissan I guess has a Versa, but still, yeah. So there's barely any small cars left. So this Chevy, for all its faults, is the last kind of subcompact, I guess. Fiat doesn't make 500 anymore, I don't think. They've transitioned into other things, so like the L, whatever, 500L and 500X. Maybe there's a 500, I don't know. So anyway, I'll get there. I'll show you the end result. You can kind of see I'm averaging now 33.3. I'm not trying to hyper mile it or anything like that. I don't really care if it does good on gas. And yeah, already 90 miles in. Yeah, I do wish that the seat was better. So, but I already talked about it. All right, we'll see you when you get there. All right, everybody, so here's the end result. I got 48 miles to empty. So this gas tank is obviously much smaller. It's 9 gallons. So on my town car, I could go from home to here at half a tank, but obviously different capacity here. 9 gallons, yeah, it's like half the size of the town cars. So average speed 66 miles per hour, not bad. Miles per gallon average 30 and a half, so not that great. I mean, I was going like 85, 90 at some point, so that probably killed it a little. But yeah, I mean, overall I drove 212 miles and pretty much emptied the tank. So we are gonna be going to get some fuel. I can tell you this, the star of the show is this display and everything that it does, the Android Auto, the phone hookup, you know, I got your microphones there. The sound system is okay. I think in this trim you do get a couple extra speakers, so you get them in the door, you have them there, and then you have 2 in the back too, so you get a little extra. But I gotta show you this. The screen itself is capable of a lot, but this is the grainiest camera, and it gives you an option to add or delete the lines. Obviously I want to add them, but man, this screen can do so much more that this camera just kind of kills it. So, but I guess they took it out of a parts bin from like an old cell phone or something. So And then when you put it in park, it goes away. So yeah, I mean, overall, we're gonna be popping this lever, which is really cheap, and it sticks out quite far. I mentioned it before that that panel that covers it. So you gotta get the credit card out. The panel that covers it is really cheap. So this is kind of. So we're going to be putting some fuel there. We're going to be getting rid of some insects that splattered all over this windshield. And obviously all over this car. Look at this. Holy moly. I mean, it was relatively clean when I got it from the car rental place, but yeah, right now it's a bug killer. So look at that. Bam. All right. So if there's anything else interesting to report, I will be happy to. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.